And today marks a year since the gruesome gang rape of a 23-year-old medical student on a bus in Delhi. The attack sparked a massive protest around India and led to a national debate about women's rights and safety. The men accused of carrying out the crime were put on trial, found guilty, and 4 of them were sentenced to death. But is the reality on the ground any different from that fateful day in 2012? Here's a reality check on women's safety across the country.
The Nirbhaya case that shook the entire nation, and here we are where it marks 1 year after that particular case, and we're doing a ground report bringing you what kind of security arrangements have been promised by the government, and today where it is now. We are at one of the prominent locations of Bangalore, which is MG Road. The Karnataka government did promise security, lighting of every street, and here we are giving you a ground report, telling you whether it is actually true or not. Joining me on this very report is Purnima Tyagi, a Bangalorean, who's going to bring us the fact of whether she feels really safe in this city or not. Purnima, I'm sure you witnessed to a lot of such harassment cases. It cannot be just restricted to Nirbhaya, but it has happened to your family members and friends. I'm sure it's a traumatic experience for you, because you as a woman wouldn't really feel safe in Bangalore.
Actually, I'll agree to your fact that I'm not safe in Bangalore, because one of my friends who's a student of medical college has been raped by 6 guys in a van, and then she's been raped by the policeman itself. You tell me, where does she go for help? Will these police stations provide her help? No. You see these streets, is there any lightning here? No. Is there any cops here? No. So how can we say that we are living in a safe Bangalore?
True, that is actually a shocker, because we are in one of the most important junctions of Bangalore. It's the heart of the city, MG Road. And here we are at a bus stop, but then there's absolutely no security, no regular patrolling. In fact, there are patrol vehicles called the Hoysala vehicles. And you see all these guys who actually pass by here. And in case there arises an emergency situation, you really wouldn't know where to go, who to call for help. Thank you so much for joining us. But then if you can actually talk about whether you feel Bangalore is really safe or not, considering the fact that you are standing at a bus stop right now and you seem to look really very lost.
We've been standing here for almost 10 minutes. There's no one we can speak to about where to go. There are no lighting, and all these things I think should be there regarding like Bangalore being such a big metropolitan city, and there are like the whole market is illuminated, but the bus stops there is no proper provision, and I think that is a great thing to work upon.
Shakti Mill gang rape was the incident that had created a big question mark on Mumbai's security. After that incident, Mumbai police and even R.R. Patil, the Home Minister of Maharashtra, has said that there will be security guards, police guards at every isolated location. Right now, I'm standing here in Shakti Mill. We can see the dilapidated condition Shakti Mill, but there is not even a single security guard or a police guard. The road is almost empty, lonely. Here, there is no security guard and nobody is there to ask you that who are you and why are you entering in this premises. Shakti Mill compound is a dilapidated structure, and there are many entrance gates for this compound. Also, there is another entrance gate from Mahalakshmi railway station. But here, when we started the reality checking point, we found out that there is no security guard, not even a single police person to secure this place. So it shows that Mumbai police is not yet serious about such incidents, and it clearly shows the seriousness of Mumbai police.
It is believed that cops are usually on an alert mode to ensure that no mishappening or an untoward incident takes place. But in case it takes place, it's usually caught on the wrong foot. And that's what happened with Kolkata police when we tried to take a round of Park Street area. Park Street is the same place where a gruesome crime happened in February 2012. The gang rape of a woman who had walked out of the Park Hotel took place in February 2012, after which the timings of the hotels, the pubs and the discotheque was changed to being shut down at 11:30 p.m. The crowd that you see here is usually at this time, and the number of taxis give you an idea of the crowd that turns up from these hotels. But the reality is that the patrolling system of Kolkata police is a big failure in this area. Not many patrolling officers were seen here, only one traffic police personnel who was deployed here for the traffic management. Despite that, despite the office of the Kolkata Deputy Commissioner of Police South being on the same road, not much security arrangements were seen on this road. And this is, of course, an indication on how alert the Kolkata police is to ensure the safety of women. It's almost 1 year to the Nirbhaya case in Delhi, but it seems that the Kolkata police is yet to wake up to it.
Right now the time is 11 p.m. in the night and we are here at Nangloi railway station's metro station. If we talk about Nangloi, Nangloi is situated in the outskirts of New Delhi. If you cross just 5 to 7 kilometers from here, you'll reach the border. So we will start our journey from this road only. This road is a Rohtak road and now we will see what kind of security arrangements are there in the whole stretch, and we'll see what kind of police arrangements which they were talking about 1 year ago, are they still in the place? Are the security arrangements are tight enough for the girl to walk in the night? Let's just start our journey. We have just crossed Udyognagar's metro station and we have travelled almost 4 to 5 kilometers by now. We haven't seen single barricading, single PCR van or any type of police patrolling till now. We are just looking forward to know what is all there in the whole stretch. After travelling almost 12 to 13 kilometers now, we have reached at our final destination, which is Punjabi Bagh. Just behind me, you can see Moti Nagar's flyover. In our whole travel, we have covered Rohtak Road and as well as Ring Road. In the whole journey, we managed to see just one barricade. There was no police patrolling, no PCR. That's why we say if you are travelling to Rohtak Road and Ring Road in the night, you have to travel at your own risk because Delhi police is not here. You have to travel at your own risk and you will realize that Delhi is not safe in the night.
Right now we are at Greater Kailash M Block Market, a famous South Delhi market which is open late nights. There are a lot of restaurants, clubs, bars in the market, and as far as security is concerned, there is no Delhi police PCR there at the market. We covered a stretch of 7 to 8 kilometers. We started from Archini. During our journey, there was no barricading, there was no PCR on our route, which clearly proves that as far as women's security is concerned, as far as safety of roads during night is concerned, the security level is absolutely nil. We covered a stretch of 7 to 8 kilometers, and during our stretch we finally realized that even though a year has passed, there's nothing much that we've learned from the gang rape issue, and as far as Delhi police security is concerned during night, it is absolutely zero.
It's been a year since India woke up to the reality. Nirbhaya sacrificed her life to awaken the government and us. After a year, we are here to find out if Indian women feel safe. Chennai is one of the safest cities. Though there have been rapes in the rural areas, Chennai is considered to be a safe city. Let's find out. We are near a place called Saidapet. There are many companies here. Women finish their duties and come walk on this pavement. In fact, we have spotted a woman who has completed her night shift and she's walking. Ma'am, do you feel safe? You've been walking, you've been coming here, you finished your night shift and you're coming. So how do you feel? Every day do you go home like this?
எவ்ரிடே தான் நான் இந்த வழியாக போயிட்டுருக்கேன். இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல அப்படின்ற மாதிரி போவேன். நெரிசல் இருக்குது, போக்குவரத்து இருக்கிறதுனால கொஞ்சம் பயம் இல்லாமல் இருக்குது. ஒரு சவுண்ட் இருந்தாலும் ஒரு பஸ் இல்லைன்னா ஒரு பஸ் நிற்கும், இந்த பேசஞ்சர் நிற்பாங்க, அந்த தைரியம் தான். முன்னாடி பிளேஸ்ன்றதுனால பிரச்சனை இல்லை.
Absolutely. She says she feels the place is quite safe. She walks every day. Of course, there is traffic. Lighting is there. Police patrolling is happening here continuously. Remember, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister had brought out laws after Nirbhaya incident. In fact, she had made some changes. There was an action plan. CCTV were fit in most of the important buildings, especially colleges and other places. And also, she announced strict action against people who commit sexual assaults. So that's why probably we see women like her walking It's 1:30 a.m. walking on the pavement, going back to a house after completing the night duty.
And our reporters now joining us live. Maha Siddiqui joining us from Delhi, Amrita Shirgir from Mumbai, Shrisha Reddy from Chennai and Manogia from Kolkata. Maha, let me just come across to you first. However, despite the hue and cry after last year's brutal attack, the rape of that woman, and she died a couple of days later, helplines were launched, beefed up security and increase in patrolling. Women still do not feel completely safe in the city that once held the distinction of being the safest in the country.
Well, Sanjana, the initial reaction of the government and the police was that there should be adequate security in the city so that the women feel safe even at night. And right after the December 16 incident, when I had myself gone out and done a reality check, we did find checkpoints at many places so that women feel safe and can approach the police. There was also a women's helpline that was launched. There were complaints regarding it that there aren't too many people who are responding. However, that seems to have died over the past 1 year. Things seem to be coming back to normal, where there are desolate stretches in the city where you can hardly find any PCR or any barricading where a woman who feels unsafe can approach. But Sanjana, the more important point that I'd like to highlight over here is that more than anything else, more than securing people with policemen all around, the fact of the matter remains that there has to be a change in attitude, which many people on social networking had also stressed upon. I'm standing right outside Parliament, Sanjana, and let me tell you that this is a prime example of what really the attitude change that we're talking about, it gets reflected here. There are still people like Samajwadi Party Naresh Agarwal who go ahead after the Tarun Tejpal and the Justice A.K. Ganguly case to say that men will feel scared of employing women. So that's the kind of sexist statements they continue making, which in a way target women. Whereas we also have seen that there are people who have risen above party lines and asked for Justice Ganguly to step aside. So clearly, on the one hand, there is some bit of change in attitude. The victims don't feel that they will be ostracized, and therefore we are seeing more reporting of such cases. But on the other hand, there still remain people who find or rather miss no chance in attacking women.
Absolutely, Maha. Thank you for bringing us that update from Delhi. Let me just go across to Amrita, who joins us from Mumbai. Amrita, Mumbai also was considered to be one of the safest cities for women, and also because it has, a fair amount of people that work late at night, and it was also considered very, very safe. But then again, a brutal gang rape that took place in Shakti Mills. So the Mumbai police also started an initiative which ensured that if a working woman has to visit an isolated or abandoned place while on official duty, and if her superior is unable to provide security due to shortage of time, she can seek security from the police. Now, the police also reviewed more than 200 isolated spots across the city. Now, in light of this happening, has there actually been any change on ground in Mumbai?
Sanjana, sadly the answer is no, because Mumbai is considered as one of the safe city for women, for girls. But after Shakti Mill gang rape, the image has been changed, because when we went there at Shakti Mill, it is an isolated location in Mumbai police list. But even after that incident, Mumbai police and R.R. Patil, the Home Minister of Maharashtra, said that there will be at least one security guard or police guard in Shakti Mill in all the isolated locations. But when we went to the Shakti Mill to make out the reality check, there was not even a single police guard or security guard was there. This is the reality of Mumbai, and somewhere Mumbai is losing the tag of safe city for women. Now I'm having girls with me. They are college-going girls, and they have their personal experiences about the security in Mumbai. You tell me, do you feel secure in Mumbai?
No, not at all. I don't think so. Like, the whole Delhi versus Mumbai thing is just a made-up thing. Mumbai may be a little safer than Delhi. I don't know. I've not been there. But Mumbai being a safe city, it's a myth. I don't know why people keep saying that, because I have had so many experiences that say otherwise. I've been touched, groped in public. I have made a shout about it. People don't come to help you. In some cases they may, but mostly that doesn't happen. The cops are supposed to be in the trains in the night, which has not happened. I have traveled alone in a compartment, and I don't know what could happen next. And that fear that is in you, because firstly you're just a college-going student. How much strength do you have to raise a voice or whatever? And even if you do, the harm is already done. So this whole thing about Mumbai being a safe city is just a made-up thing.
We have some other girls also. You tell me, do you have any personal experience about this?
Yeah, right. I think right from my primary, when I was in primary school, from that time I used to travel in bus and go back home after the school used to get over. Since that time I've been molested in like it's so many incidences, like now it's like it's become a habit, and if you go and ask any girl of my age, they are like, yeah, it's the usual. So rather than being in an opposition to it, it's become like a ritual that yeah, every girl is going through the same thing and it is going to happen. And more than that, I think this the sexual aspect, like when men are not allowed to talk about sex or women are not allowed to talk about sex, that is a suppression that is there in guys, that is coming out in a violent way. So I think the upbringing should be in such a way that sex is not a sin and talking about it is also not a sin. So I think a bit more, if the society opens up a bit, all these violent things will become a bit lesser.
You tell me, what do you expect from Mumbai police?
Well, Mumbai is definitely not a safe place anymore, and then the fact that the authorities, they restrict us and they tell us what to do and what not to do and how we should behave and what we should wear is definitely not acceptable, because firstly they send us to school and they ask us to have a mind of our own, and then they curb our our minds and tell us not to wear this and not to go here. So then that is definitely not done. They should definitely have an open mind.
Sanjana, these are the honest reactions coming out from the girls, and they clearly say that we don't feel safe in Mumbai anymore. Back to you.
Amrita bringing us that update. Srisha, let me come across to you right now. Amrita, giving us that update from Mumbai, which is a fairly cosmopolitan, open-minded city. What's the mindset like now in Chennai? How have things changed after this?
Sanjana, as far as Chennai is concerned, women here feel, of course, safe because even we did see a woman walking on the pavement at 1:30 after finishing her night duty. So this is the route that Chennai has been taking, and also after the Chief Minister of the state, J. Jayalalitha, had laid down strict rules and regulations, and also she stated that panic buttons and GPS would be fitted in every auto because women felt that autos were unsafe in Chennai. But after that announcement came, of course, women in Chennai are feeling safe. I have a working woman with me. Do you feel safe in Chennai?
I pretty much feel safe in Chennai, especially after the changes that have been taking place right now. I mean, there are police patrols now. Autos are made safe. There are autos having meters and safety measures there. So I think I am feeling safe. I mean, as a working woman, I go home late as well. And if I don't feel safe, I obviously wouldn't go home, right? And working here in Chennai, I think I've been working here forever in Chennai. So in the beginning, I might have felt unsafe, but right now, I have the confidence that I will manage.
All right. So here we have a working woman who is telling that Chennai is, of course, safe because we have been seeing a lot of police patrols and also police deployment in every street corner where there are no street lights. So Chennai has been taking steps to ensure women are safe in Chennai. Back to you.
So we're looking at Delhi, which nothing really has changed. Mumbai as well. Mumbai, in fact, the women are saying it's not as safe as it used to be. It's become actually more unsafe for women. Chennai, a remarkable shift in attitude and this, the safety for women. Manogya, let me come across to you. You're in Kolkata right now. We understand that there was a brutal gang rape in Kolkata a couple of years ago, which also turned political, which was a reflection of the kind of attitude and the mindset that existed in this city. So after this brutal gang rape that took place in Delhi, has anything changed in Kolkata? What about the safety of the women? What's the status on ground currently?
Well, not much seems to have changed in Kolkata. We've seen that the pubs have been changed for the timings of their shutdown. That has been changed from 2 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. But that does not mean that that ensures safety for women. The cops have been, however, stating that this would at least tend to lower down the number of cases that have been happening here in Kolkata, especially the gruesome Park Street rape case that happened in February 2012. After that, we haven't seen any big incident, but that does not suffice for the security that is being provided by the Kolkata police here. We have been speaking to officials who have been saying that there have been regular checks that were installed at regular places, especially in the Park Street area and other places where they have a lot of discotheques and they have a lot of pubs. But this does not, of course, ensure safety for women, because the roads and the streets are comparatively vacant and the lighting system too has improved. But it's still far from reaching the security for women. And overall situation, you could say that the rural Bengal still continues to reel under such kinds of incidents, but the city might have improved, at least for now.